watching The Meech.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys! Thanksgiving is honestly my favorite holiday, believe it or not. It's actually the most underrated holiday as well. I love Christmas, but there's something special about Thanksgiving, where anyone can celebrate it and get together with their family. I'm also very hyped for the Macy's Day Parade this year, because the man himself, Ronald McDonald, will be returning. I've gained quite the reputation as a Critical Croc, but today, I wanted to make a feel-good video, sharing some of the games I'm the most thankful for. I'll highlight some of the games that came out this year, but also some of my favorite games ever. So with that being said, here are the games I'm the most thankful for. Let's start off with some of the best games of 2021. We're approaching December, and it's a bit rare we see games released in December, so it's essentially a wrap at this point. Starting off the year with a bang is oddly enough a Wii U port. Super Mario 3D World has always been one of my favorite Mario games. It might not have been open world, but it had the creativity and interesting locations that 3D Mario games were known for. Most Wii U ports aren't worth double dipping for, but Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is the exception. Let's start off with Bowser's Fury. It's essentially a brand new kind of 3D Mario game. Bowser Jr. accidentally turned Bowser into a kaiju level monster, and Mario and Bowser Jr. team up to restore Lake Lapcat to its former glory. This is the first true open world 3D Mario game. It takes place in one gigantic world that expands based on the amount of cat shines that you collect. This is a great game, and even though it's only a few hours, it's short but sweet. It's highly replayable, and has many fans wondering about the future of 3D Mario, not to mention just how menacing Fury Bowser looks. Leave it to Bowser Jr. to revive his father in some of the most horrifying ways imaginable. Bowser's Fury was the main new addition, but Super Mario 3D World is here, and is heavily improved. There are actually improvements to the game, with it running 20% faster, as well as introducing the dive move. This move makes the game flow even better, and has saved my life quite a few times. Not only that, you can get colorful stamps you can use in the photo mode. I miss Miiverse, but recreating Miiverse memes in full color and glorious HD is nothing short of excellent. It also introduces online multiplayer. It actually runs smoothly most of the time, and it was the first 4-person stream I did with TND, Reese, and Starchronics. Even if you have the original on the Wii U, this is without a doubt worth getting. I don't shy away from criticizing recent Pokemon games. I also won't shy away from praising recent Pokemon games. New Pokemon Snap is the long-awaited sequel to Pokemon Snap, and it absolutely delivered. Being developed by Bandai Namco, that was a seal of quality for me. Whenever Bandai Namco develops a Nintendo game, it's going to be good. Just look at how much I love the Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix series. This game expands on the original in every way, and has a stellar presentation. Also, Professor Mirror bears a striking resemblance to Jay Witz. Whether it was intentional or not, I can't unsee it. The summer was a bit slow, but during the fall, my wallet was getting drained. There were so many great games released during that time. Demeech loves WarioWare. In other news, Water is Wet. I've always wanted WarioWare on the Switch ever since day one. While it's a bit unusual we had to wait 4 years for it to happen, better late than never, this is a really cool game. The main gimmick in WarioWare Get It Together is having different playable characters from the WarioWare series, each with their own ability. You can create a team of characters to use, and I found Wario, Mike, and of course Jimmy T to be my favorites. This game also has some really bizarre and surprising moments, even by WarioWare standards. The game is great, but to make it even better, it has character customization. This is probably why Nintendo will never hire me. WarioWare Get It Together is one of the best games on the Switch, and was worth the wait. Tired of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? We got a very unexpected but awesome racing game this year. Cruisin' Blast initially released in arcades in 2017, but finally got a console release on the Switch this year. It's been quite some time since a cruisin' game has been on a console, and this is perhaps the best in the series. It may not be a kart racer, but it's a rather extreme take on racing, with dinosaurs and even police chases. I couldn't recommend this game enough, and it's also on sale for Black Friday. Speaking of games I haven't seen an entry in a long time, Metroid Dread. The first 2D Metroid game in almost 2 decades, there's often an argument saying whether or not the game is worth $60. It's not. It's worth $90. The Special Edition is easily the best Special Edition Nintendo has ever put out for any game. Metroid is an exploration-based 2D platformer, sorta like an open-world 2D game. If you love any of the 2D Metroid games, you'll love Metroid Dread. One of my favorite aspects of it is that it's actually quite challenging. It's been quite some time since Nintendo put out a challenging game, and it's a breath of fresh air. Finally, after nearly a decade, ND Cube did the unthinkable. They made a good Mario Party game. Technically, it's a remake of sorts, but as the saying goes, if you can't make a good new Mario Party, just do what the old ones did. I never got too into Mario Party, only playing Mario Party DS and Mario Party 5 extensively. And yes, even Mario Party 10. Thanks T&D for recommending that game to me. Mario Party Superstars is easily my favorite entry in the series. I've had a lot of fun playing the games at parties, with friends, and even the online mode is actually really good. It's surprising that a Nintendo game has online multiplayer designed by a human. It also addresses a major issue in Super Mario Party and lets you use a Pro Controller. It's nice to have a great Mario Party game after so long, and I'd highly recommend this game over Super Mario Party. 2021 had some great games, but getting into my favorite games of all time, I decided to list my favorite game in some of my favorite series. It was hard to choose just one from every series, except for my favorite game of all time. With that being said, here are some of my all-time favorite games. There's a lot of games that are my favorites, but these were just some of the highlights. There's a lot of love for the Great Yellow One on the channel. Choosing just one Pac-Man game as my favorite in the series was a very difficult task, but if I had to choose, it would probably be Pac-Man World 2. This is a 3D platformer, and while it may not be the most groundbreaking one out there, it's a lot of fun. There are many collectibles as well as an arcade where you can play classic Namco games. When you combine Pac-Man World with Namco Museum, you get my favorite Pac-Man game. I'm very excited for Pac-Man Museum Plus coming next year. I've talked a lot about Pokemon on the channel recently. Some were surprised to find out I'm a huge fan of the series, mainly because I don't do a lot of videos covering Pokemon, but it's remained one of my favorite series ever since I started my Pokemon journey in 2011. As cliche as it is, my favorite Pokemon game is hands down Soul Silver. Gen 2 was the only generation to have 2 regions, and considering this is a remake, the games were remade for the modern era. You're not only getting excellent remakes of the Gen 2 games, but a lot of new content, the Pokemon Crystal content, and all the Pokemon up to Generation 4. Considering Gen 4 introduced many evolutions of prior Pokemon, it added a lot to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. While it does have some archaic elements like HMs and the sprites aren't animated, the positives completely outweigh any negatives. Mario Kart is what the channel is known for, and you bet it's one of my favorite series. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is what I consider to be the best entry, but I wanted to do something different here and highlight the most underrated Mario Kart games, which remain some of my favorites, those being the Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix games. Developed by Bandai Namco, these games are quite different from the mainline entries. There are over 100 items you can use, some referencing seldomly mentioned Mario games, the Bomb Koopa Shell, and Carrot Return from the Super Mario Land games, and there's even the virus from Dr. Mario. Flood is also an item, which is very cool to see. There are even character-exclusive items, and considering these were developed by Bandai Namco, the Great Yellow One and friends are in the games. Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix 2 having the most Namco characters with Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Blinky, and the most iconic Mario Kart character, Mamechi. You're also getting live announcement from the man himself, Justin Berti. I interviewed him last year, so go check that out if you haven't. He's a great guy, and let's hope he's the announcer for Mario Kart 9, or even a new Mario baseball game. While Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe didn't have too many Namco characters, it did have Don-chan from Taiko no Tatsujin, and it introduced me to that series, being one of my favorite rhythm games. It's unlike Donkey Kong. Almost all the Donkey Kong games have been great. Any of the Donkey Kong Country games are some of the best 2D platformers out there, but if I had to choose just one as my favorite, it would be Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It's also my favorite 2D platformer. It has excellent level design, a stellar presentation, and is a near-perfect game. If you haven't played the game yet, it's on the Switch as well as the Wii U. Both are pretty much the same though, so it really doesn't matter which one you get. I really hope we get a new Donkey Kong game soon, and considering Kirby is jumping into the 3rd dimension next year, let's hope Donkey Kong parties like it's 1999 and finally gets another 3D platformer. So what is my favorite game of all time? That would be none other than Super Mario Odyssey. I've stated many times why I love this game. I'm actually going to do an entire video about it called Super Mario Odyssey, Why It's a Masterpiece. But to summarize some of the highlights, the creativity in Mario's moveset remain the best in the entire series. The mechanics such as Cappy's capture ability are a blast to use and add more depth to the game. The presentation is a hybrid of cartoony and realistic, and I'm a huge fan of it. Needless to say, Super Mario Odyssey remains my favorite game of all time, and I'm looking forward to doing a full video about it. Before I end the video, I'd just like to give a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for watching the videos, commenting, liking the video, subscribing, and yes, even disliking the videos. Even if you say something I strongly disagree with, like I want Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to be the only game to ever exist, thank you anyway. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, as it's one of the few days of the year where you can rival Arnold and feast to your heart's content. Thank you to everyone, and as always, keep calm and da-da on. Happy Thanksgiving!